The zoo was a donation to the city of Santa Ana in the idea came about in 1949. There was a local landowner named Joseph Edward Prentice, and he had an appreciation for the city and the community and really liked monkeys. So he wanted to give back to the city and made a unique offer of 12 acres of land for a city park, but it had to have a heritage with monkeys. We always need to have monkeys at the zoo. And in the deed, it actually stipulates 50 monkeys at the Santa Ana Zoo. So to this day, even though we're almost 70 years on, we do have a strong heritage with primates. There are many different monkeys at the zoo, and that's an area that we're continually looking to improve and expand upon. And in the future, we plan to develop a unique primate forest to really highlight those creatures that have been so cherished here at the Santa Ana Zoo for the last 70 years. The zoo sits in Prentice Park, which is named after Mr. Prentice. And there's a concrete monument on the corner, First Street and Elk Lane, that says Prentice Park. And it continues, so he definitely continues to be remembered here at the zoo. And of course, the reason for all of the monkeys here at the zoo is because of Mr. Prentice. When the Santa Ana Zoo first opened in 1952, there was no fence around the zoo. It was actually just an open park area, and there were a few small monkey habitats with the original monkeys. There were only 4 species when the zoo first opened, including a capuchin monkey, a spider monkey, and then there were some monkeys from Asia. And eventually the zoo expanded, adding some cat exhibits and some exhibits for animals like hawks and golden eagles. So the zoo has evolved over the period that it's been in operation. And then in 1989, 1990 was the first professional master plan for the zoo, which had the zoo focus on the animals of Central and South America. Because we already had so many monkeys here at the zoo, that was not a big jump to focus on those species from that region. And that's during that period, after that master plan was approved in 1990, there were some new animal areas that were built, including a walk-through bird aviary with beautiful tropical birds from South America.
In the aviary, we have several different bird species. We have the scarlet ibis. They are a bright pink bird, and you can usually see them roosting in the branches of the trees here. We have very colorful sun conures, and they are a small parrot. They're very boisterous and loud, and they like to fly around a lot. And then we have our stealthy sunbittern. There are a pair of them. The sunbitterns like to hunt in the water and look for fish. They pick around in all the mulch and the bark looking for bugs, and every now and then they will be strolling the pathways.
The pandemic has affected the Santa Ana Zoo with the same as it has with other facilities. We've had to close to the public. We've had to put extra safety measures in place, not only for the animals, but also for the staff here. We make sure that we keep social distance between each staff member. We wear masks, we wear gloves, we are sanitizing and cleaning extra to make sure that everyone stays healthy. We have used the time to also upkeep the zoo even better than we have before. We've done some projects while the zoo has been closed, and we've worked with the animals more when the zoo has been closed, and that was in preparation for the zoo to also open back up as we have during the pandemic. And we've made sure that it's safe for the keepers, we've made sure it's safe for the animals, the staff members, as well as all the guests coming in to visit the zoo now.
And during that time, we've been able to expand our boundaries in how we reach the community through programs, because we've started doing virtual programs for people that can't come to the zoo, or for the periods where the zoo was closed. And it's also been interesting to see how the animals have reacted when we've been closed due to the pandemic, because we've learned some of the animals really do crave the attention of the people coming to the zoo. One in particular that sticks out to me are the goats in the farm. We had to give them a lot of extra attention because they weren't able to interact with the visitors here like they normally would. And I'll also add, there are a number of other attractions at the zoo beyond the animals. The zoo sits in a beautiful park setting with lots of picnic areas, and some of the favorite attractions for the public coming to the zoo are the 3 rides that we have in the farm area. One of the most popular would definitely be the Zoofari Express train ride. So we have that antique train that goes around the children's zoo and also the grasslands here. Beyond the train, we also have the conservation carousel, which is a beautiful custom-made carousel that has all sorts of animals on it. There's a hummingbird and a bald eagle and a sea otter, lots of really beautiful creatures that are on that custom carousel. And the most recent attraction that was added to the zoo was the 50 monkey Ferris wheel. It is a 65-foot Ferris wheel, and each of the gondolas that people sit in has a different monkey represented on it. And you can also learn about the history of the zoo and primates at the zoo when you're in line queuing for the Ferris wheel. So it has a different view of the zoo when you're up high in the Ferris wheel. And where we're sitting right now, this area is called Tierra de las Pampas and opened in 2009, and it is representative of a South American grasslands. And right behind me are a group of guanacos, which are the wild ancestor of the domestic llama. So they range from Chile and Argentina, and that's why they're here in the South American grasslands. There's also some birds that live out here that look like ostriches, but are actually called rheas, which are the South American equivalent of an ostrich, an African ostrich. So there were a number of different areas of the zoo that were built that focused on Central and South American habitats. The Santa Ana Zoo has about 250,000 visitors a year in a normal year, and we definitely want to encourage the Santa Ana community to use the zoo as just a nice nature spot in the city. We're here year-round, and there's a free day every month for Santa Ana residents, and there's also a lot of very affordable membership options to come even more frequently than that. And going forward over the next couple years, we're trying to roll out some new programming to connect with the Santa Ana residents and especially kids in the city. And we'll start popping up in different parks and areas around the city with fun activities and crafts, and then also different animal demonstrations and the ability to interact and meet some of the animals that live here at the zoo. So that's something that we're excited about. It's called the Santa Ana Community Connections Program, and that will be going over the next few years. And beyond that, there's always the opportunity to volunteer at the zoo. There's so many different ways to get involved, whether it's helping with clerical work or being involved with education programming and interpreting the animals for the visitors that are here at the zoo, volunteering as a family, or even coming in just for one day to volunteer as part of a special event like Boo at the Zoo. So there's many ways to be involved in the zoo, both as a resident coming and just having a quiet afternoon in nature, or getting more involved and giving back to the community as a volunteer. The real purpose of the zoo is to be a place of recreation for the community, and also a place of conservation for the natural world, both animals and also the environments that they come from. And we hope that people coming to the zoo are able to find that little bit of nature that they might be missing in their life, to have a nice day out with the family and make memories that will last for a long time, and then also learn about the animals, learn about the conservation of the different areas that the animals are from, and things that we could do in our everyday lives that may have an influence on that. So there's many different reasons that people would come to the zoo, and hopefully they leave with many positive memories, connecting with the animals and also with each other.